Hello, my name is James Phillips, and this will be my final project for the Student Diplomacy Corps group that went to China. Well, in this project, I'm mixing the video with the audio recording and creating my own sort of commentary on what happened in China. I will be mainly focusing on location, westernization, culture, and food that we experienced while we were there. So, starting out, we have a photo from the near the roof of our hotel in Beijing. Beijing is mainly divided into hutongs and not civilized, but city areas. And this is our first dinner. It was kind of overwhelming how much food was ordered, but that's just Chinese hospitality for you. It's a lot different from Americanese food. This is the Forbidden City. Around this time, I started to realize that China was very hot, even though you can't see the sun most of the time. This is the throne room. We had a little competition. I would have won if not for the little fuzz of hair in the bottom left there. This is the Summer Palace. It's a view from across the lake. The boat ride was quite relaxing, actually. This is the Temple of Heaven. I started to get pretty badly sunburned at this point. Made the experience a little bit uncomfortable, but I still had a lot of fun. Beijing is big. This is from the top of the Great Wall. I was doing some pretty unsafe stuff with my phone here, kind of leaning over the wall, hoping I didn't drop it. That would have been really bad. But this is the entire view of the wall, pretty much. It's kind of difficult for a sea-level kid. My ears actually popped on the way up, which was terrible. This is the bullet train. It's my first time ever being on any sort of train, so the bullet train was very different. It was a really relaxing ride, actually. Well, this is our dorm with the Xijia foreign language group. It was different, of course. Chinese life is different. Let's see here. What do we got here? This is the Longjing Temple. This is I guess it was a relaxation pond that I took a picture of. And then this is the Yuzha Stone Village. This is all done while we were in Xijia. These are long bus rides. Yeah. I'm not even sure where we were at this point, but there was a zoo, and there were animals on an island, and I ate a cicada there, so there's that. So, I'm taking a little bit more time. This is our first night with our urban homestay families. The family did as much as they could to make me comfortable. I was glad to find that we had similar interests in Wimbledon, and they went and bought me lychee nuts, which is great. I love lychees. So one of the days we also visited Tanyan Mountain or Kanyan Mountain, I'm not really sure. This is a view from a Buddhist prayer site that I took, and then this was from the temple on top of the mountain. Uh, it was a really interesting statue that symbolized a lot of Buddhism there. And then we made one night the steamed sweet rice little triangles. I don't know what they were called. They were really difficult to make. It was an experience. And then one night, my family took me to the mall. We were gonna have dinner with, I guess it was their godmother. She was having a really hard time trying to explain that to me, like her brother from another mother. I guess it was strange. But we went to an arcade too. A lot of times, all of us would get together in a group and go do something. This is one of those times. It was like a large scale puzzle game that was really interesting. It was hard. Another day we went to the Temple of 10,000 Buddha. We met a monk there. It's interesting learning about his religion. This is the first day in Loyang with our rural stay. We went biking to the Longmen Grottos. We took that picture while we were stopped on the bridge. There was another picture of us holding the flag somewhere, but I don't know where that went. This is the largest Buddha on the Longmen Grotto, of course. We made a lot of jokes about big Buddhas. And then this is the Pagoda Garden, where we learned a lot about how monks were celebrated when they died. My rural homestay family also took me to dinner, except we did it as a barbecue on the bridge. We went pretty late at night, about 7 or 8. I took this picture at around 10. I thought it was really interesting how the air pollution caused the light to diffract everywhere. And then we ended up in Xi'an. Xi'an was, it was just a short stay. I really liked it though. There was quite a disparity in life. You had Maseratis in one corner, and then you had just a poor rickshaw in another, and it's very different. This is the beginning of our Muslim Quarter trip. Muslim Quarter is where I had some of the best food. We had soup dumplings in one place. We had jiao jiao noodles, which are super thick and delicious. And then we had this roast mutton with all these spices. And then later I learned a little bit about calligraphy and Chinese art styles. And then this is a sleeper train. Now, the sleeper train was such a long trip. It was so long, but it was kind of comfortable. We had a lot of bonding experiences on that train. This is a video that I took of the Lashan Buddha. Our Dave was confused because he didn't think we were going to go see the Buddha, and then we ended up doing it, and I was really excited for it. Now, pandas are a big part. We learned a lot about the ecological aspects of pandas and why they've become protected. But my own personal story is in the red panda enclosure. There's a hole in the fence, apparently, and so I kind of got separated from the group because I went the opposite way that I was supposed to, I guess. But there was a red blob on the path. It was raining and my glasses were wet, and I couldn't really tell what it was. And as I walked closer to it, it's a red panda, just in the middle of the path outside of the enclosure. And from that point on, I started making jokes about how I should have just taken the red panda. It was amazing. It was so cute. And then this is, what is this? This is one of the bridges in Shanghai. It was like 10 at night. We had just come off a flight. We were ready to get to the hotel and just go to sleep. And we passed under this bridge. And this bridge was so exciting because it's such a large-scale model of Westernization. Because it changes color. Like, what would be the point of a bridge that changes color? Nothing. But they did it. Because why not? This is the Bund, the rich financial district of China. And this is char siu, Cantonese food, which is really sweet and savory. And just tastes good. We, outside of the Communist Party Museum, we recreated the iconic Beatles picture. Okay, so now here's where things start to get a little more serious. Talking about the increasing industrialization and development in China, you see here that I'm passing through a goat herd on a bike, while a couple meters away in the background there's property development, and there's such a disparity in the wages that it just doesn't make sense in an area like Luoyang. And moving on to issues like air pollution, here's a picture that I took at like 10:30 at night, and it was clear as day outside, yet you couldn't see a single star because of how much air pollution was there and present. It was kind of saddening. And then here we have an example of increased light pollution. The Chinese retrofitted the bell tower in Xi'an with a bunch of lights, and it looks beautiful, don't get me wrong, but it's just a changing of the culture. And then here's a view outside of the 10,000 Buddha monastery where there's like a water tower or something. It's just, these things are in full view. And then this is an old cultural museum in Luoyang. And this is where things start to get real, because the running joke is now that the crane is the national word of China to symbolize exactly how much China is growing and industrializing and westernizing, that it makes me worry about how the culture is going to be preserved. Because at this point, culture is going to just meld and be left behind while the Chinese pursue a world leadership in production. So I just don't know about the future of China at this point. Thank you.